what is meant by link text? Let me open any application. Facebook. So this is application. How to identify the link text? So in the name itself, we can able to understand that what it is exactly. It is a link text, which means that the text having a link. Totally, in link, we have three different types of link. Okay. Internal link, external link, broken link. Okay, broken link. One of the interview question. What is meant by internal link? When the element redirect to the same page, it is an internal link. When the element redirect to the new page, or we can say it is a new window or new tab, new page or new window. It is an external link. Broken link, it is a link which not working for some reason. We may encounter with this broken link sometime. Broken link, deadline city. We have some example dead link. Okay, so sometime when we open application, we will be encounter with these kind of a error code. 4.0 is a bad request, 4.1 is unauthorized, 4.04 is a not found, some kind of a error we will be getting. So these type of links are called broken link. For example, when you open the application, you will be getting this kind of error message. Those type of error message are called, these all the type of error message are called broken link from 400 to 510. Majority of this broken link will be only for decommissioned application or the application which is not in used. Sometime, maybe sometime there will be a working application may also have that we need to consider as a bug. Okay, the link may not working properly. Okay. Those type of links are called broken link. So when we say internal link, the text, okay, we can see a text, right? This is also a text. This is also a text. We can see Facebook help you connect and share with the people. This is also a text. What is the difference between these two text? This is just a text. When we hover this text, there is no URL which is reflecting in the bottom of your left side. Similarly, when I'm over this, you can see when I'm hovering, it is showing like a hyperlink. I can see some URL which is showing in the bottom left hand side. Those type of text are called linked text, which means that the text is linked with this URL. You can see some URL over here with this URL. Those types of links are called linked text. Basically, linked text is developed under only in anchor tag. Okay. Anchor tag. How we can say the anchor tag here? Inspecting this, we can inspect the element. So you can see under the anchor tag, the A tag. A tag is called the anchor tag. Inside the anchor tag, we have a text. You can see tag which is opening here and ending here. Within this tag, we have a text. That text is called a linked text. If this forgotten password, which is outside of the A tag, you can see here the A tag, which is inside to the div tag. Okay, the div tag is nothing but a division tag. This division having a tag which is inside the div tag. Div tag is opened here and closed here. But you can see the forget password which is defined inside the a tag. So that is called a link text. If the text is defined outside of the a tag, something over here or in between here, that is not a linked text. So basically, when the a tag having a hyperreference attribute, that URL is combined to this text or linked to the text in the backend. So when we click this forgotten password, it redirect to this URL. Okay. So basically, linked text will be linked to some URL. So we need to identify whether internal link or external link. Internal link will be working differently. External link will be working differently. For example, if I'm clicking this, it is redirecting the same page. That is called internal link. Sometimes, if I'm clicking this URL, it will be redirecting into the new window. This is one window. Sorry, this is one window. And this is another window. So this is called external link. Okay, so we need to identify these kind of identification. We can able to understand which is an internal link or external link. We will see in the future how to address the internal link and the external link. Internal link, we not addressing anything specifically, but external link we will be addressing specifically. Okay, that we will be seeing in the future about window handling. Now we will be coming into linked text. So this is the link text. Let me open the application. Opening the application. Then driver dot find element y dot link text. Link text. When we saying a link text, the value we supposed to update or provide here as a full link. Okay, the exact text name we supposed to provide. There should not be any mismatch. Even though it is a case, we need to follow the case sensitive as well. If it is not matching with the text name, then the automation won't work. Inspecting the link, then copying this link text. Exactly. So that is what which is showing over in the UI, right? Exactly. So now we need to, links are always to be clickable, right? So we have to click it. So this is how we need to identify that we need to use a link text. Similarly, we have a partial link text. We have a partial link text. It is similar, or we can say same as a link text. Only the difference is by dot partial link text. Only the difference is we can provide the partial name here. Okay, here we supposed to provide the exact match. We supposed to provide the exact match with, but here is no mandatory. We can provide the forgot. That also will be working. So partially we have provided the text name, which is having a link. So the linked text we can provide here partially. Here we supposed to provide fully. That is the only difference between the partial link text and the link text. Okay.
So Ram, when we're providing this partial link, that time we'll be getting multiple locators, right? It's not because it could be that like we'll be getting multiple text with forgot. or something?
That we can able to visible here, right? See here, if we have any linked text in the same forget, see here, only we have a forgotten password here. Other than that, we have this is on linked text. It is not a forget. It is a login page. It is a create account. Here we can see any other forget is there or not. If it is a forget, then it will become under duplicate.
Yeah.
Okay. If it is, so it depends on the application.
Okay.
If it is not there, then we can use a partial link text. Fine. Okay. For time being, what I will be doing, I'm just commanding this. I'll be running this. Yeah. This. Even this. So the forget password is identified by the driver correctly. Let me close this manually. You can see it is existing with C. So the partial, the link text is working as expected. Here we cannot able to use partial text. It will not work. We will end up with the exception. Unable to locate the element. So we end up with the exception. What is the exception? It is referring to the forgotten, whatever we have provided line number 96. So whatever of exception we have, unable to locate the element select or forgotten. That is what the Okay. So in this scenario, we can use a partial link. It will work. Let me do the undo here. Then let's try with this. So since it is a partial link text, I am using a partial keyword, the text name. So it is working as expected since we are using partial link text. Okay, so this is the difference between link text and the partial link text. Got it?
Yeah.
Simple. Then the next one, link text, partial link text, tag name. Tag name. So in the inspect page, everything is a tag, correct? Because HTML program is a tag based program. So HTML is a tag, header is tag, body is tag. Each and every line of program is implemented using the tag. So by using the tag name, we can able to interact with the element as well. Okay, but most of the time, the tag name we may end up with the duplicates because most of the code will be a div tag, input tag, ID tag. These are the duplicates. So only head tag, body tag. Head tag also may be duplicate, body tag also duplicate. Only the tag will be unique is the HTML. Maybe sometime HTML also having a duplicate. So tag name, maybe we will be end up with duplicates. For example, driver tag name. Driver dot find element by dot tag name. So previously we have interacted with the forgotten password, correct? Forgotten password is a tag. Okay, what I will be doing, I will be trying to a tag. Okay, the tag name which I have mentioned. What I will be doing, I am trying to get the text name. Okay, because see here in this Facebook, in this application, we have a lot of bits. We have multiple a tags are there. Forgotten password is a tag. Create page is a tag. English, Tamil, all the other languages are a tag. Everything is a tag. So let's see how many a tags we are getting using this code implementation. So a tag, what I will be doing, I will be trying to store this into a variable my tag. So print my tag dot text. So basically what I'm doing, if it is an anchor tag, obviously the anchor tag having a text. Okay, that is not a mandatory. May it have a text, may not it have a text. Okay, I'm trying to print the text which is holding by the tag name. I'm expecting here Control F a tag. So I'm expecting 42 tag names. 42 tag having a text. So I'm looking for the 42 text over here. Okay, let's see. Just running this. Let's see. There is somewhere there. Yeah. Hey, what is the selector here? Did I miss anything? Don't find element by dot tag name. Okay. Unable to. Okay, maybe it's looking like a. But let me rerun the program. The browser itself not loaded properly. Why it is not loaded properly? Did I made a mistake? Let's see. Okay, I haven't opened the application. That is there. Okay, supposed to open the application, right? Browser initiated. Need to open the application. So we are not doing anything over in the UI. We are just extracting the text name for the a tag. Okay, I'm closing this application. Nothing is printed. Nothing is printed. Anyhow, we are completed with zero, which means that it having a empty space. Let me see whether it is an empty space or not. And parallelly, what I will be doing, okay, we cannot able to do that. Okay, let me run. See, we are expecting 49 values, but we haven't get none of the values. Any guess why it is not printed anything? We have an empty space. Okay, why? I understand that there is a text having no values, but we are expecting 49, but it is not returned any values. Why? Because a tag, we are expecting duplicates of 42. If it is a more than one, what we need to do? I think we have seen this in the first class. I have explained you in the first class. When it is more than one element is found, what we need to do? We need to use find elements. Okay, it is used to interact with a multiple element, but
Yes.
we have used a find element. Find element will be always interacting with only one element, even though there is a multiple elements available. Okay, so from that multiple elements, the first element is an empty value. That is why we are getting the empty. So instead of that, we need to use yes. If it is a yes, now find elements is returning a list of web element, which means that is basically looking like a list web element. Everything is in the web element keeps on and go. How many? 49. Okay, until 49, we will have the web elements. It will be in the list. So how in Python we need to interact with the list of values? How we need to manipulate, how we need to interact with each element from the list? Any idea?
Indexing.
Indexing is, it is a static way. We want to interact with all the elements at the time, dynamically.
We can go with for loop.
So
for
okay.
item like that list.
Okay, correct. But why? Okay, what is meant by for loop?
Sorry.
What is meant by for loop? What type of loop it is for loop?
It iterable. I'm not sure.
Okay. So basically we have two different types of loop. Okay, it is important. Okay, we have two different types of loop, for loop and while loop. For loop is a sequenced based loop.
Yes, sequence based loop.
While loop is a condition based loop. Condition based loop. What is mean by sequence? Sequence means any iterable values. Either it is a string, list, tuple, set, dictionary. It is a condition based. When the condition is true, then the loop will work. So here it is a sequenced based data. So we have to use for. So for first we can print and we can see the length of tag, which means that we will be getting the count. We are expecting 49, right? So it will be returning the integer. It will be returning the how many counts of the tag it is returning in the list. Okay, let's see. I'm just using this automatically. Okay. So expected 49, but actual A tag is present is a 42. Okay. That may be, maybe, okay, 42 is exactly fine. 42 as expected, 42 is present. Okay. Now we can iterate it. For tag in my tag, we can able to print the tag.text. Now we can able to get all the text because we have 42 A tags are right. So from the 42 tag, each text we will be getting. Let me, maybe sometime we may expect a space as well, empty spaces. Okay, to understanding that, because the first element is a empty space, right? What we have get in the previous run. So just want to maybe multiple empty spaces will be there to understand how many it is there. I'm trying to print this. Otherwise, I can enumerate this. Okay, enumerate. What enumerate will do? Enumerate will give values and count.
Index with value, right?
Yeah, correct. So I'm just printing the count. I'm just printing the not required count. That's it. So we have all the 42. So it is index, right? Index will be always starting with 0. So 0, it is a empty. That is what we got the first one previously. Then forget and password, create new account, create page, all the languages in between they're having a some empty space. So whatever the text over in this UI, everything has coming under this for. So it is because of we have used to find elements. So more than one element, we need to use find elements. Then we can able to iterate it by using some condition statement. We can able to interact with any one of the element over from here. Okay, so this is how we need to interact with the tag name. Got it? Any doubt, clarification?
No, Ra.
So far we have seen the concept on default locators. Okay, these are called default locators. ID, class, name, link text, partial link text, tag name. These are default locators. What is been the default locators? These values are available here. Using that availability, we are using here. These are customized locator. It is customized means user can define the locator. Okay, we can create the locator. Sometime what will happen? We may not or we cannot able to use those locators in some time. So there is another option. We can go with the customized locator. CSS locator. CSS selector. CSS selector is a customized locator. Here we have a combination. So far we have seen a single locator, say either name, ID, or class, or link text, or partial link text, or tag name. But we coming into CSS selector, it is a combination. What are the combination we have in CSS selector? ID with name, ID with class, ID with any attribute and its value, or ID with class, combinations of attribute with value. So basically, the last one is the combinations of these two. Okay, you can see here the unique thing is syntax. Okay, when it is a combinations of ID and a name, we supposed to use dot. When it is a ID of class, we supposed to use hash. When it is a ID and attribute, we supposed to use square bracket. When it is a combination of class and attribute, right? So for class, it is a hash. So that we have used, and for ID and attribute, we have used square bracket that we have used. It is a combination. So these four different types of combinations we have over in the CSS selector. So here we are specifically I am mentioning that what type of value it is. For example, when we coming into value of ID, we are saying that it is ID. Similarly, when we are using a name, we need to specify name. When it is a link text, we are specifying a link text. So driver can understand that, okay, this value belongs to link text locator. This value belongs to ID. But here, driver only can able to understand using this dot hash square bracket. Okay. So the syntax will be driver dot find element. Here by dot, we are not using any specific locator. We are using CSS selector. When we are saying the CSS selector based upon the syntax ID, it is not ID actually. 1 minute. I missed something. Give me a minute. It is not ID. I'm sorry. It is a tag actually. Okay. Tag and ID. Sorry for the confusion. Tag and ID. Tag and class. Everything is a tag. And class name. Okay. Tag is nothing but div, input, a, head. These are the tag. So tag with the ID, value of the ID. So we need to specifically, for example, if it is a tag, we can say A. dot ID. What will be the value of the ID for the specific element which we are going to interact? That value we supposed to provide. Okay. We can say, for example, so this is this input tag belongs for username or email address. It is a tag name is a input tag. So I can say input, that is a tag name, and ID. So dot is mandatory. We need to, if we can give a dot, then we supposed to pass the value of ID. Do we have ID here?
Yes.
ID. Email. So we can say email. Now driver, the driver object will understand this belongs to ID's value. How? It is because of this dot. Now we can, it is an input, right? So we can use send key, we can pass ABC at some random email ID. Let me run the application first. Maximizing the application. That is a good practice. Maximizing the application. Let me run this. Let's see how it is working. Okay. The value is not passed. I think syntax may be wrong. Okay. It might be here. It might be interchanged. It is not a dot. It is hash and it is dot. Okay. Now we can see this. Okay. Yeah. If the syntax is wrong, what will happen? So previously we have used dot. It will looking for the value of class. Actually, we have provided the value of ID. So due to incorrect value, it not be interacted. Okay. So we need to pass the syntax correctly. This is for input tag and ID. Okay, this is for tag and ID. Now we can go with. I'm giving a tag and a class as an exercise for you. Okay, tag and a class exercise, and I'm giving a tag and attribute also as exercise. Because I will be covering the combination here. Okay, I will be covering both the tag and the class and the attribute here. So the same concept you can apply over in the tag and class and attribute. When we saying a tag dot class with attribute. Stop.
What will be the attribute here? Like class, okay, understood. By from locator we can take, but attribute from where we will take?
I will show. I will show. Driver dot find element by dot CSS Selector. Attribute may be anything. Okay, anything in their respective tag. For example, tag name, it is input. What is the next syntax? It is a class. So we need to supposed to provide dot. What will be the class name here? Just closing this class name. It is this is a class name. So I will be pausing this class name. Now attribute. Attribute syntax is square bracket. Inside the square bracket, we supposed to provide attribute. Attribute may be anything other than the locator. Okay, so inside the tag, everything is an attribute, right? Anything we can provide: type, class, name, ID, data, test ID, placeholder, focus. Everything is an attribute and value. Sometime what will happen? See here, Here we have a class. Only we have a class. So we can use this class. Sometime what will happen, instead of class and ID, here they have some user defined attribute will be there. For example, okay, imagine that instead of here the class, it having a attribute called ABC. Okay, because class is one of the locator. Sometime what will happen, they will be defining some user defined name, or other than that, they will be using some other name like autofocus, area label, process ID. These are not coming under the locator concept, right? Locators are only ID, name, class. Other than that, we don't have any attributes here from the locator. Other than that, ID, name, class, everything are attribute. So ID, class, name. Other than these three, whatever we are seeing here, that are we can consider as attribute. Even though we can consider this as an attribute, but to be more understanding, I'm saying even though without these three also we can able to interact with the respective element using the attribute and value. So here what I'm doing, I'm taking some other attribute. For example, text selector. What I will be doing, I will be going with data test ID. So okay, data test ID will be this one. What will be the value here? Royal email. Royal email is a value. So now it is a combinations of tag, class, and attribute. There is an attribute name and its value. When we supposed to use this, sometime we will be having a duplicate. Only we are using with the tag and a class. So to avoid that, we can more specify the attribute with the unique nature. Okay, by using this, we can avoid the duplicate. Now what I will be doing, in case this is for email, right? BC at, or I can say 123@gmail.com. I'm just commenting this out. Let's see how it is working. Okay, the value has not passed over in the respective inbox. It is due to we having an issue over there. I will show you what is the issue. So we have an issue over in the value. See, you have to be more conscious when you are getting the value. Okay, when you are getting the value, what value? We are grabbing the value from here, right? From the respective attribute. There you can see here we have a space in between the two words. That should not be. See here, input text is a one word. After that we have a space. After that we have an underscore 55R1. Again we have a space. Again we have an underscore 61UI. So in between the space is causing the issue here. Okay, sometime it may work, sometime it may not work. So if it is not working, either we supposed to remove the space. Remove the space means we need to remove the space from after the space. We can remove all the words. Otherwise, what we can do, we can remove this one and we can remove this one. The word should not have a space. That is the expectation. Okay, let's see how it is working. So now it is working. So it is due to the space. The previous code was not working. Now what we can do, the same similarly you can use for the class and tag with the class and tag with the attribute as well. What I'm doing, I am giving some other example to understand the duplicates. By dot. I can copy this. Here you can see now I am trying to interact with the password. Okay, trying to interact with the password. It is an email ID. Just passing the password. Now, so this is for password. So this password having an data test ID. Do we have the? Let me. Data tested is a royal pass. I will show you the small difference why we are using more specifically class and attribute here. So now I am using a class with attribute for email. Similarly, I'm using class and attribute for password as well. Okay, let me run this now. You can see whatever the value we have provided, the password it is correctly placed. The issue is that you can see this is common. This is a duplicate. Tag and the class names are duplicates. Only the attributes values are different. You can see here, you can see the difference. Class. Here also we have a class. Input text underscore 55R1, some value. Here also we have some value. If I remove this, if I remove the attribute, if I removing this attribute, okay, I'm just passing that. I'm just passing the class and tag. What will happen? It will place everything in the same username because both the values are duplicates here. As for username also we have a underscore 55R1. Password also we have a underscore 55R1. See here, both the username and passwords are in the same input box due to duplicate value. In order to avoid this only, we are specifically providing the attribute here. Even though we can do some other thing, see here. Here we having only three words, three different words, but here you can see four different words. This is the unique word here. So instead of 55R1, we can provide this word as well. We can provide this word as well. It will also work. Okay, so these different types of options why we are using in order to extracting the unique values. Okay, got it?
Yes. Yes.
Like this, you can work on the class attribute, tag and class, tag and attribute. Now let's move on to the next topic. It's an important topic, XPath.
Yes.
In real time, most of the time we will be using XPath. Okay, what is meant by XPath? XPath is nothing but it's a XML path. Okay, it is one of the customized path. How the CSS selector we have, we have created our own path. Likewise, XPath also we can create our own path. So what will happen? XPath is actually very fast and efficient in order to interact with the respective element. In XPath, we have two different types. Okay, XPath is an interview question. Okay, XPath we have two different types. One is a absolute XPath.
Relative.
What is the difference between absolute and relative? Anyone having an idea?
Yeah, like we were providing that input and class name directly, right? That time it will be like absolute XPath, and relative is like we are going to parent and then we are taking the preceding siblings, or like like following sibling, like that. That time it is a relative XPath.
Not. It is, precise the sibling concept. That are relationship of nodes. That is additionally we are providing over in the relative XPath. But without relationship of nodes also we can implement the relative XPath.
Okay.
There are multiple differences we have. A difference between the absolute and XPath. Absolute XPath is always start from the root node. Okay. Root node. What is meant by root node? It always starts from the HTML tag.
Okay.
Absolute XPath always start from the HTML tag. So the XPath will be always start from. Always it will be looking like a start with \HTML. Okay, start with always start with root name. Coming into relative XPath, it always start with \\.
Got it.
Absolute XPath, it have always unique, no duplicates here, no duplicates. Well, we may have a duplicates. Absolute XPath. What we can say absolute XPath. It have only one value. We can able to create. We can able to create only one path to interact with the element. Can able to create multiple types of path to interact with the elements. It is slow progress to interact with the element. Okay. It is very slow actually, and not recommendable. So very fast and efficient, and it is recommendable. Why it is recommendable? Path is very short. Here, why it is not recommendable? Because path is very long. Then, yeah, pretty much. So how we can differentiate the absolute XPath and relative XPath? So for example, the input. For this input, I am taking an absolute XPath. Right click, copy. Here we have full path. Absolute XPath are always full path. This full path. These are, can say in other word, partial absolute XPath. So absolute XPath always looking like a full path. Okay, it will be always start from HTML node to the respective. Okay, it is very long. The same path I can show you the XPath. I can show the relate XPath. So copy XPath. Copy XPath is a relative XPath. The same element we can create two different types of path. So since it is a very long, it is getting slow. So here it is starting with always double backslash. Star is, it is depends on our preference. Star is like, we can say it is any. Okay. If you want to be more specified, we can specify the tag name. Here it will be coming a tag name. Okay. Either if we are not giving a star, sometimes we may end up with duplicates. If you are having a different tag name, having a same ID, attribute and value, then it will be coming under duplicates. For example, you can see here, for example, double backslash div tag at ID equal to value is email. Okay. Similarly, we have a double backslash input ID equal to email. So the expectation, you have expectation to interact with this. Okay, goal is to interact with this, but automation will interact with this, will interact. It is because of you have, if you are not specified the tag name, for example, here you are providing a star, then what will happen? So we have this is availability of element. So if you are giving a star, what will happen? Driver doesn't know which tag you are looking for, because in the same attribute and the same value we have a duplicates. So by default it will be interacting with this one instead of this. In order to differentiate or extracting the unique, you can specify the input. You can specify the tag name. So how it will identifying this instead of this? There is a concept is encountering called forgot the concept. Give me a minute. Document object model. I guess I have discussed with you guys earlier, I guess. Okay. According to the document object model, the driver will always interact with the respective element. What is mean by document object model? Show you this. Structure. So what are we are seeing over here, right? This is our visuality, our understanding the code is will be looking like. But when the automation or when we are opening the application manually, the backend, the DOM structure will be creating by the browser. So how the progress will be, how the process will be. For example, when open any application, first what we need to do, we need to open the browser, Then we need to open the application. In between this, we have a DOM structure. This DOM structure create the DOM view, that DOM view creating this application. How the DOM view is same, whatever we are seeing here, right? This will be creating in different way, in structured way. Okay, let me maximize this. Like a tree structure, hierarchical way. Okay, you can see here document. This document is nothing but the doc type. Okay, that is the document. Then inside the doc type, we have a HTML tag. That is a HTML tag. Then we have a under HTML, we have two elements that are head tag and body tag. Inside the head, we have a respective tags. Inside the head, we can see there are multiple programs are there that will be structured over in the head tag. Similarly, we have a body. Inside the body, we have a respective tags are there. That will be coming under here. So what will happen? How the duplicates are getting identified? In the previous example also, we have encountered with the duplicates right here. Okay, the find element, how it is interacting with the first element. Because imagine that we have two elements. This ID, this div tag ID having the value email, which is here, which is here. The second input is coming here. So how the driver is interacting with the element when the application is open, the browser is creating the DOM structure. The DOM structure is creating by the browser. Okay, Chrome browser, Firefox, IE. That browser is creating this DOM view in the backend that we cannot able to see. The driver will be navigating each node. These are node. Okay, first driver will go here, come here, come here. It will be interacting with the likewise. So when it is coming inside here, first it will go first top, first one. If it is matching the value, because here we are giving a star, right? So it won't listen the tag here, what type of tag it is. Instead of that, what it will do, it will look for the ID and the value. If it is matching here, immediately it will interact. That is why we are specifically meant to mention the tag name if we founding a duplicates. Now, if it is a duplicate, now it will see the value is getting matched, but the tag is not an input tag. It is a div tag. So it will be ignore that and it will be coming down. So always the first element from the root node, the first element will be interacted if we having a duplicates. Okay, that is why always the find element method, the find element method is picking the first value of the DOM view. That is why we are using find elements to get all the matched element. From the matched element, we are extracting the duplicates. Okay. Got it?
Yeah.
The same concept it is applying here. So if we don't have any duplicates, we can use star. If we having a duplicates, then we need to be either we have to change the attribute and its value, or we can change the tag name. It depends on the developer. Okay, fine. So here, why it is slow? Here we have a multiple nodes. These are tags, right? In more technically, we can say it is a nodes. So driver will be jumping from one by one by one by one by one. So if it is a long path, driver, it is taking time to interact with each node, validating the values, validating, and finally it need to reach it. So in the automation point of view, it may be fast, will be looking like, but comparing to this is slow. Okay, in millisecond wise. Imagine that in your project, you are using the absolute XPath in multiple places. Then obviously your entire suite, for parallel testing, end-to-end testing, it may be slow comparing to the XPath. That is why developers are recommended to use relative XPath than absolute XPath. When we are using a relative XPath, directly it will be jumping and looking for the element. Okay, because what is mean by double backslash? See here, this ID and value, this ID and value is belongs in the input tag, correct? In the input tag, ID having a value email. What we are saying here, double backslash. What is mean by double backslash? The double backslash is nothing but the first backslash is this first backslash. What are we are saying? The first backslash, right? That is the root node, before to the root node. then we are ignoring this every node. We are ignoring the every node. That is why it is coming under the double backslash. Then we are saying the tag name. That tag name is tag name. Then if you want to be more specific the attribute, we can specify that. This is how the double backslash is getting created. So this is a differentiate between the absolute XPath and relative XPath. Got it?
Yeah.
Okay. In the interview point of view and in the real-time point of view, we need to know how to create this absolute XPath and relative XPath manually. Okay, because sometimes whatever the value, because these values are we are taken from some option, right click, and we are just directly going to copy and export. But we need to know how to create manually, because sometimes what will happen, this may not work. This may not work. Sometimes what will happen, both the tags are div. That tag also div, second one also div, both having same value. Then we need to know how to create another relative XPath, because relative XPath are multiple types of path we can create to interact with the respective element. So we need to know manually how to create the relative XPath and absolute XPath manually. That is one of the interview question. Okay. I think okay, I will show you how to create manually. This I will show you some different element. For example, I want to interact with the thumb. Okay, I want to create a XPath for this, both absolute XPath and the relative XPath. What I will be doing, I'm inspecting this. Okay, inspect. Now I'm creating an absolute XPath. Always, when you are creating a XPath, go from backward direction, which means from bottom to up. Okay, if you are coming from top to bottom, may get confused. We may miss some tag, or we may miss some nodes. Okay, so that is recommendable. We need to create from backward to forward. So first we are trying to interact with a tag, right? So we need to say a. Then we need to see the tag, a tag is coming under which tag? Who is the parent tag of this a tag? So who is a dependable tag? So the next tag is a li. So see this li tag having only one tag, that is a tag. And this li tag, see here, this is our expected li tag, but this li tag coming under this ul tag. This li tag coming under the ul tag, but this ul tag having multiple li tag. If we haven't specified the index, we need to specify the index. Index means in this ul, we having a multiple childs are there. Multiple tags in the same tag name. If we haven't specified the index, by default, it will be picking the first one, because in the DOM structure, this li is the coming in the top, correct? So it will be getting, by default, it will be picking the first one. So we need to specify the li, which li we want to select. Sorry.
Sorry, no. Fine. You can go.
So we need to specify the index. What is the index here? It is a second one, because first one is a English, second one is a the respective what we are looking for. Okay, this is the second. Now we are here. UL. This UL is coming under div. UL is coming under div. Do we having any other UL in under the div? No. So we don't want to specify any index. Then now we are here in this div tag. So this div we having another one div. So this div we having only one child. So we don't want to specify the index here. So directly we can go with, likewise, we don't have any child. So directly we can go with div. Now this is a div, what we are looking for. Okay, I missed that. There it is. This is a tag. Div. Well, this is an issue. We need to be more careful. So this is our parent. Okay, let me make a note of this side because this div is coming under div. No. See display. After. So this is the div. So what is the div here? This is the div class. Well, correct. So this div tag is coming under. Okay, so this is a parent tag. So we are looking for the div, this one, that is a second index one. Okay, correct. So we are looking here. We are looking here. So our div tag is the second one here, where it is here. So we need to specify the div. So now I missed the path. ALIUL div third div. So third div is the second div here. Okay, so LIUI is the first one, second one. So third div is the second div of this. So third div, correct? Third div is the second div of another div. This div. Now this div is a, we have here two div. This is the first div. First div of this div. So we don't want to specify the index here. Directly we can go here. So we can go here. So now this is coming under this div. This is the first div of the body. Okay. Now we can specify the div before to the body. Now the body is coming under the root HTML. HTML. So this is the absolute export for A tag. So let me quickly debug this. HTML body we having a 1, 2, 3. Body we having a first one, then we having a the next first one, then third one also is a first index, right? Third one also is a first index. Here we are looking for div 2. Here we are looking for a div 2. No, I missed somewhere. Okay. First div. Inside the first div, we having another div. Here we having this is a div. How many body? 1, 2, 3, 4. No, I missed something. Give me a minute. Here it is. This is our div. So basically, this is a div 2. Where is a div 2? This is a div 2. Above to that, one div, 1, 2. Okay, basically we have a 2 only, right? So body, then next first div, second div. body first div, second div. In the second div, we have a second index. So this is, we made a mistake here. So HTML body first div, then second div, then second div. So body first div, second div, then second index. Inside the second index, we have another one div. Correct. Then we have a next. We have a next index div. Then we have a UL here. We have a UL. In the UL, we have a second line. Then we have a. Correct. So we have created correctly. Let's see whether it is working correctly or not. Copying this, closing this. I'm inspecting again. Okay. Now what I'm doing a Control F. Whatever I have created, pasting here. So I can able to get only one value, and it is directly redirecting to the respective element. So this is how we need to create the absolute export. Got it? Any doubt?
No.
Now I can create the same for the same element. I'm creating a relative export. So always relative export, what is recommendable means whatever the element you are looking for, create a element from the tag itself. That is a first recommendable. Okay, first recommendable. If there is no way to create, then we can move with the different tag. So first, what we need to do, it is a relative export. We have to give a double backslash. Then it is a tag. So I will be giving an a tag. I need to see whether I having a attribute with the value. Okay. So attribute with value class underscore SV4. So I can say class. It is a XPath, right? So XPath always having an annotation symbol for attribute. So you have to be differentiate that. Here we having a class with for CSS Selector attribute, we doesn't mention the at here. Okay, ID equal to value of the ID. Value of the ID. Here we doesn't mention the at, but when it is a coming a export, we should specify the annotation symbol. Okay, that where I have created here class having the value. What is the value here? Underscore SV4. So underscore SV4. Always create the relative export from the respective tag itself. Sometimes we may end up with duplicate using this. Let's see whether we having a duplicate or not. Let me close this. Clicking somewhere. Okay, see here we have a duplicates. So even though we are looking for Tamil, that is coming under the top. That is why it is showing a first one. But similarly, if I want to click with some other, which is the next one here. See the next one. All the language having the same class name, same attribute. So now what I supposed to do? For example, I want to interact with the Hindi. Okay, instead of Tamil. So here I need to specify that tag. I need to go with some other attribute instead of class, because class having a same value. I can go with DIR, TIR, LTR, LTR, RTL, LTR. LTR also we having a duplicate. Hyperreference not required. We can go with the title or ID. IDs are always be unique. Okay, if you have no chance, go with ID. That is why there is a locator called ID. IDs are always unique. 99% there won't be any duplicate for the ID attribute. Either we can go with the title or we can hide in order to avoid the title. Title, specify the value. What is the title here? Hindi. So now we don't want to mention the A as well because Hindi is a unique word. Okay. So I can give a star as well. It will work with, it will return only the unique value. So using this, okay, we have only one value. If you want to be more precise, then we can give as a tag. Okay, likewise, we need to identify. For example, other than this text, all the values are unique. All the values are duplicates. Whatever the attributes like class, DAR, title, ID, everything is a duplicate. Then what we can do? We need to go step ahead. We need to go one step back. So current tag name is A. So what we need to do? We need to one step back. Li. We need to specify Li. Then we need to specify A index. Li. Or what we can do? We don't want to mention index. We can mention Li. Which Li? 1, 2, 3, 4, fifth index, right?
Fifth.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Sixth index of Li having the A title. If we have been using the class as well, it will work here. Class minus is V4. So what it will do? It will ignore, it will directly focus on the sixth one only. So it will only focus on the respective element because we are specified the index. So it won't go with the other index. Directly it will come into the respective index. If this Li having multiple A, then we need to be more precise. Which A we need to. So likewise, we need to segregate the index. We need to be more precise which tag we want to specify. Li is nothing but a list of values. Okay. Fine. Relative XPath is understandable. Having any doubt?
No, Ram. Till now it's fine.
Okay. What about Nandini? Having any challenges, any doubt you have?
No, it's fine actually.
Okay. Okay. I'm stopping here for today. Okay.
Okay.
We have completed XPath. The next topic we need to discuss on the relationship of nodes. Okay. Relationship of nodes that we will be discussing by tomorrow.
Sure.
Until here, any doubt you have, you can ask me. Otherwise, we can wind up the class and we will move forward for the class.
I think it's fine. No doubt.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then thank you.
Thanks,
thank
Ram.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.